Good evening, I'm Sean Green with Sports Tonight. The West Indies A team has built an overall lead of 195 so far. This is on day 2 of the third unofficial test against the England Lions, being played at the Sir Vivian Richards Cricket Ground in Antigua. The Lions resumed on 20 without loss in reply to the West Indies' first innings score of 236, but they were dismissed for 102. Jamal Warrican was the pick of the bowlers, again taking 6 for 33, while Rakeem Cornwall had 3 for 46. The West Indies A are currently 90 for 3 in their second innings of that ongoing day-and-night match for an overall lead of 224. Well, the West Indies received a serious reminder today that playing in next year's ICC World Cup is not a given. In an official warm-up match today in Zimbabwe, Afghanistan stunned the two-time former world champions by 29 runs via the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method in a match reduced to 35 overs per side. The West Indies had won the toss and sent in Afghanistan to bat and restricted them to 163 for 9. Actually, at one stage, the Afghans were 71 for 8, but a 91-run ninth-wicket partnership that was dominated by their number 10 batsman Gulbuddin Naib with 48 took them to that 163. Now, Sheldon Cottrell was the pick of the bowlers for the West Indies with 3 for 43. Jason Holder took 2 for 27. Kesrick Williams 2 for 34. Now, chasing a revised target of 140, the Windies were dismissed for a paltry 110. And that came off 26.4 overs. Evan Lewis, he top scored with 36. Marlon Samuels made 34. And Pearcer Dalit Zadrad took 4 for 26. But the West Indies will begin their qualifying campaign against the United Arab Emirates, and that game is on March 6 in Group A. Now, for the first time, Barbados will be sending 2 junior teams to a youth rugby Olympic qualifier. A 25-member squad made up of 11 girls and 10 boys, 2 coaches and 2 managers were scheduled to leave the island today for Las Vegas to compete in a youth Olympic qualifier. Now, coach of the boys squad, Kevin Murrow, told Cbc Sports that since the injection of rugby into the Olympics back in 2014, the interest in the sport on the island has increased in the youth department.
We had started off early last year, training on Saturday mornings. But as we found out about the qualifier, we started to ramp up the training. We were doing fitness training at Harrison College with Mr. Adrian Thorne on Tuesdays. Thursdays we were doing training at the Garrisons, and Saturdays we were doing training. Every other week we would play a game, some matches against one another, and we did a training camp on Arrowbarrow weekend, a 4-day training camp. We are going there, unfortunately, with shorter numbers in our teams. We have 10 boys and 11 girls, but we're only going to be playing 4 to 5 games, so we don't think that will cause too much problems with us. It's going to be tough competition, but at the end of the day, this is their first time performing at this level. We have high expectations, yes, but our expectations are on their performance, not on results. We want them to go out there and perform as best as they can. If they do that, then we have a platform that we can continue to grow this sport on.
Well, the boys will be in competition with the USA, Canada and Jamaica, while the girls will compete against players from the USA, Canada and Mexico. Now, Coach Dario Stout is impressed with how the girls are responding to the discipline.
I find that overall the interest level in the girls has actually been pretty good, and because of how the program was structured, we gradually introduced contact. So I find that the girls that have started the program, majority of them have stuck with it and really enjoy it, even though there's some contact. We also are looking to have a form of the game where is less contact involved, a tag version, so that anybody who's interested in rugby can still come and play and don't be worried about getting hurt or getting hit, stuff like that.
Although nervous about the upcoming qualifier, the captains and players are ready for the mission.
The game plan going into Las Vegas is just to put everything we learn in practice into the game and to try our best, and we have been practicing really hard, so I know that we would just execute it. I
am really excited and I am impressed with the development of the boys team because we've come a long way in a short period of time, so I'm really looking forward to this tournament.
Don't know what to expect, but I know it's going to be a hard push, and in terms of preparation, we have been having practice 3 times a week, and at the Garrison and at HC, And we've been told about ways we have to change our diet. We have to hydrate because Vegas is basically a desert. So we have to deal with the dry air and the cold nights. So we've been prepping our bodies and our minds and our stomachs.
The boys have very improved in discipline and the actual performance in matches, and we played against ourselves, and then we also played against some men that are on the senior national team, which would show us how well we have to play. We have very drastically improved over the few months that we have been training for this tournament.
Time to hit the track, and Husbands House retained their title at the Parkinson Inter-House Sports held at the National Stadium today. The Husbands did the double with 742 points. That's 30 ahead of Jilts House, and they had to settle for second. They had 712. Now, third place went to Howard, while Barnett finished at the bottom in fourth. The CBC's Kamal Haynes was there for the exciting 100 meters.
Who will be the fastest boys and girls of the school? To answer that question, we start with the under-13 girls 100 meters. Anybody's race onto the final 50 meters, which sees a 1-2 finish for Jilts House. Shamir Samuel takes the goal, edging Rashia Simmons, while Nikhil Yearwood of Husbands finishes third. The under-13 boys race went down to the wire, but it was Jaheim Herbert of Barnett House in lane 3 who came out victorious. He sets a new record time of 12.20 seconds from 12.43, set back in 1997 by Fergie's president. Shamar Blanchard of Husbands took second, while Lamario Edmond of Jilts took third. To the girls on the 15s, place your eyes on lane number 4. Destiny Chandler of Barnett takes control and wins the goal, stopping the clock at 12.76 seconds. Abian Burrows of Husbands finished second, while Tamara Holt of Barnett came third. The under-15 boys race was a quick one. There was no stopping Ashem Vaughn of Jilts. He flies down the track in lane 4 and equals the 38-year-old record set by Merton Ski of 11 seconds. Cabion Beckles of Husbands took second, while housemate Linton Abrams finished third. To the under-17 girls, with record holders Sarah Lawrence of Husbands in lane 5 the clear favorite. However, she exceeded expectations, breaking her own record of 12.25 seconds, only set last year to clock 12.18. Janelle Reed of Jilts took silver, while housemate Keela Codrington took bronze. The boys on the 17s wasn't as clear-cut as the girls, but Mitchell Joseph in lane 4 broke away late to win in 11.95 seconds. Jamie Lawson and Jelani Bascom finished second and third respectively, giving Husbands 3 spots. Now to the big girls. There was no stopping Rowanica Jackson of Barnett in lane 4. She storms to victory in 12.90 seconds. Trinity Joseph of Jilts took silver, while housemate Destiny Farley took the bronze. The wait is over. It's time for the big boys. Who will it be to carry the title of fastest boy in the school? None other than Tristan Harper of Husbands in lane 4. Mission completed. He wins in 10.95 seconds. Deshaun King of Howard took silver, while housemate Tyrese Arundel took bronze. Kamal Haynes, CBC Sports.
Well, last night we reported that Sean Simpson and Megan Best remain champions in the men's and women's BOA Barbados Senior National Squash Championships. And playing in the finals at the Squash Center at the Marine Gardens over the weekend, and Simpson took his 10th men's title, while Best is wearing her 3rd crown. Here's Melissa Farley with the report.
This women's final featured 2-time defending champion and regional senior women's champion Megan Best taking on a competitive rival in Amanda Haywood. Both had spectators sitting on the edge of their seats as they displayed a high level of play to see who will take the title. And the defending champion got the action going, Best in the white skirt taking game 1 11-9. But she needed to keep up that performance, knowing the opponent she was up against. But defending champions do slip at times, and Best did just that in the second game, and it meant that Haywood showed great determination to respond to Megan's every call, taking game 2 11-9. Best knew the title was hers to lose, and so, like a defending champ should, she shook off the mistakes she did in the previous game and took Game 3, 11-8. And with that dominance, Best kept the pace and crushed Earwood in the fourth game, 11-4, claiming her third ladies' national title. When the men took to the court, it was expected that the familiar face of 9-time champion Shawn Simpson in the bright pink shirt will make it 10 titles. He was up against number 2 seed Brian Cumberbatch, and the defending champ sampled what Cumberbatch had to offer before he took Game 1, 11-9. And when he knew exactly what he was working with, Simpson took the chopping stick and slaughtered Cumberbatch in Game 2, winning 11-1. Down by 2 games now, Cumberbatch tried to better his performance, so he improved a bit, but it was not enough. And after 20 minutes of edge-cutting shots, Simpson settled the score 3-0, winning the third 11-4 and title number 10 to his name. Melissa Farley, CBC Sports.
And coming up, Titus tops the 2017 swimmers. Daniel Titus is the top award winner for the 2017 swimming season. Titus took home 5 awards at the recently concluded Barbados Amateur Swimming Association Awards ceremony. Titus was named the most outstanding senior female swimmer for 2017, along with collecting the Leah Martindale Trophy for the most valuable swimmer in 2017. Titus also collected awards for the best female performance at Cbc in Trinidad, Commonwealth Youth Games in Nassau, Bahamas, and the World Junior Championships in the USA. Meanwhile, Jack Kirby, who resides in the U.S., and took home 3 awards on the evening, with the biggest being the Victor Norville Award for the outstanding swim for his World Junior Olympic A qualifying time, which he swam at the World Junior Championships. Kirby also took home the award for the best overall male swimmer at the Commonwealth Youth Championships and the FINA World Juniors. Olympian Alex Sobers, who is also residing in the U.S., was also a big winner on the evening, taking home the most outstanding senior male swimmer, as well as the best performance at Cbc, the best performance at the World Championships in Budapest. Now, other notable winners on the night were Azza Dunwoody and Zachary Taylor, who won the most outstanding junior female and male respectively. While the Coach of the Year was awarded to Antonio Petrolanda for being the head coach at the Carifta, Cbc and the World Championships. Well, Spooners Hill are the champions of the Anna Shepherd Burger King and Community Development National Netball Festival after defeating Valerie in the finals at the Sky Mall Court. Now, boasted with the experience of a former national goal shooter Lady Bishop, Spooners Hill took the crown with a 27-25 victory. Even though it was a tight contest, Spooners Hill kept above Valerie throughout the first 2 quarters, taking them at 5-4 and then at 14-11. Valerie then took over the lead in the third quarter, 22-19, thanks to Jada Smith, who shot 20 from 23 attempts and assisted with 5 from 8 by Nadia Blackman. But it was all in a losing cause, as clinical shooting from Bishop with 16 from 19 took her side to the 2018 title. She was assisted by Kellyanne Brathwaite with 6 from 12. Well, it was back in 2014 that U.S. champion breeders and owners Sarah and Kenny Ramsey entered Major Marvel in the Sandy Lane Gold Cup. And as luck would have it, that gamble produced a win. And since then, no Gold Cup race has ever emerged from the gates without the Ramsey farms represented. This year's edition sees 2 Ramsey's charges in the lineup. And here's a look at Shining Copper and Sir Dudley Diggs.
For a 5th year, U.S. champion owners and 2-time Gold Cup winners Ken and Sarah Ramsey will have an interest in the big race. Actually, they have 2 entries in Shining Copper and Sir Dudley Diggs. Much hope is invested in Sir Dudley Diggs. After all, he's a 2016 $1 million Queen's Plate winner. The son of Geo Pointy, he is looking to do what no horse has done before. captured both the Queen's Split and the Barbados Gold Cup, despite several notable Canadian and Barbadian jockeys winning both gems. Staying in contention since its 2016 Queen's Split triumph, Sir Dudley Diggs has won several allowance races. Nolan Ramsey, grandson of owners Sarah and Ken Ramsey, expects Sir Dudley Diggs to be a powerhouse come Saturday.
I like him. I think he's going to handle the course just fine. Obviously the distance won't be a problem. He's kind of a bigger horse. He likes to be roughed up in his races. I think he's going to get a good run. Obviously a good jockey riding him, knows where to put him. So I expect a good run. He's been handling everything great since he's been here, so no complaints. He's a pretty versatile horse. He can come from behind, he can go on the front end. So obviously drawing closer to the rail helps him, less traffic. So we'll see what they give us out of the gate, and we have our options coming from the 2-hole.
Interestingly, he'll be paired with last year's champion jockey Jalon Samuels, who is going for a record 4th Gold Cup win.
Well, I would say as long as they have a right in the race, they have a chance. And I think he's a very good horse from what I see from him. He's working very well, and I just hope everything keeps perfect as it's going.
If you win, this will be your 4th World Cup. So you then go into the big leagues with the likes of Dennis Richards and Patrick Husbands. Do you think there's any pressure on yourself right now, knowing that you can get there to be one of the most decorated Gold Cup jockeys?
Well, no, at the moment I'm just trying to stay focused and aim on winning and get that number 4 win.
I know you don't give away strategy, but any plans for Saturday's race?
Well, just hope you hopped out the gates and you just do what you feel it's doing until the time comes.
Sir Dudley Diggs will be on the inside out of post position 2. Tipped as favourite, Shining Copper is a 7-year-old gelding with multiple grade stakes wins. Going into Saturday's race, he is coming off a hat-trick of wins in his last 3 starts. Having had over 30 lifetime starts, he did not make much running in 2017, but 2018 is shaping up to be his peak year. There's an added boost in that last year's 2nd place Gold Cup jockey, Puerto Rican-born Rafael Hernandez, will be on his back, so there is some experience.
Rafael being Thursday, so we'll get him on the horse on Friday, let him get a little bit of a feel. But I thought he gave an excellent ride last year, especially being the first time he'd ever ridden here. We also have him up on Kitten's Cat before the Gold Cup, so he'll get 1 run over the course before the big race. Shining Copper is a pretty difficult horse to ride. He's very strong, so I think he fits the horse well. Obviously with a good draw, I don't think it'll be an issue, but we look forward to it.
Is there any particular type of turf that your horses prefer, the soft or the medium, a cut? Which do you think suits your horses better?
Shining Copper doesn't really care. He'll run on a wet track, he'll run on this, he'll run on the pavement. It doesn't matter for him. I think Sir Dudley Diggs actually prefers a little bit of cut to the turf. So with the rain we've gotten, I think it'll actually help him a bit, but he'll run on anything.
Shining Copper goes out from post position 4. The Ramsey camp is in with a good chance at Gold Cup glory yet again.
Now, there are some names that, from the time they're called, you know it's Gold Cup royalty. Well, tonight's Golden Flashback is where it all started for both champion owner Sir David Seal and jockey extraordinaire Dennis Richards.
It's time now for our Golden Flashback. A look at those Gold Cup races that left racing fans at the edge of their seats for every twist and turn of the race. Who remembers the song Go Ben Tom Go? Well, that song was written off this race, the 1986 running of the Barbados Gold Cup. And this was the beginning of a legacy for owner Sir David Seal and for jockey Dennis Richards. It was the first of many Gold Cup victories they would claim as their own.
Inside the final furlong, and it lies between Ben Tom and the Somersault, but Ben Tom has them beaten. Inside the final furlong, it is Ben Tom and the Somersault. Ben Tom is going to win it now. Ben Tom wins it from Melia Secret. Ben Tom wins it. Melia Secret, Somersault, Astral King.
That's Golden Flashback. A look at those Gold Cup races that we just can't forget.
And here are some of the events happening tomorrow, February the 28th. The inter-house sports will continue with Alexandra there at the National Stadium, and Boscobel will be at school. Now, both of them will start at 9 a.m. And the Long Course National Swimming Championships continue at the Aquatic Center from 6 p.m. Well, that's sports for tonight. Join us again tomorrow from 8:05 with the next Sports Night. I'm Sean Green. Good night.